Hello, welcome back to the Sports Doyens Badminton Review. Joining me today once again are Meda and Srihari after a magnificent All England Open. A lot of COVID barriers obviously came in between of the tournament. A few players withdrew previously because of injury, but regardless, the show that was put on in England in Birmingham was absolutely fantastic by the players. We saw some really exciting games, and who better than the two of them to actually discuss this really exciting draws, really exciting results in all the different categories. We will discuss the men's singles, women's singles, mixed doubles, men's doubles, and women's doubles in the orders, and obviously some really exciting results to look forward to. And I would like to start with the men's singles first. Meda, coming to you with the men's singles. The draw was pretty interesting, although a few players had to withdraw, and there were some injury concerns as well. But a really exciting final, as people keep talking about Lee Zijia winning the final against Victor Axelsen, who hardly seems to lose these days. He was obviously looking set for another victory, but fantastic performance by the Malaysian to actually get over the line, and a shock for a lot of people. But do you think you saw that coming?
Well, it was 50-50 if you ask me about Victor Axelsen winning, but with Kento Momota being knocked out earlier, uh, I did feel it would most likely be Victor Axelsen winning. But also, it was long time pending that, Lee Zijia finally won a title. And if you look at his performance since January, it's been on an upward trend. He's been playing really well. So, yes, I think Victor Axelsen was a bit injured in his semi-final against Anderson Townsend. But taking no credit away from BZJ, I think he made complete use of that opportunity that he had and went all out on attack against Victor Axelsen and made sure he played well and not affect the fact that Victor Axelsen has been in wonderful form to affect him mentally, and he gave it his best, and I think that worked for him in his favor.
Yes, I mean, from what I can see of the results in the final, the first game itself went to 30-29. It was pretty
Yeah.
interesting. I mean,
It was very
just
thrilling.
imagine the just just imagine the length of the first game itself. And Srihari, a very long game, and I think the second game was also really competitive in a way. It ended 20-22 in favor of Victor Axelsen, and then Lee Zijia got the third game 21-9. It was really a close encounter, wasn't it? And just for our viewers, what are the intricacies of playing such a long game? Because they almost played for what, around 15-20 points extra than they usually would.
Yeah, it's actually they have played for at least like 140 minutes, which is like almost 2 hours. So it's gonna be it was tiring very much. And Lee Sijia, he's like the successor of Lee. Means when Lee Chong retired, Malaysia was asking who's next. So he came as the answer. So I think he's performing really well, and his All England victory. It's a pretty shocking to me because actually I was thinking Axelsen would win because considering his current form, he's a very difficult player to beat. So I think Lee Sijia went through a lot. Means surviving 3 sets with Axelsen is pretty difficult thing. So I believe like he played his best, and I think we got a beautiful game of badminton there yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
it was beautiful. And yeah, Meda, before you continue, I just also wanted to add the fact that we have to talk about the game between Sai Pranit and Victor Axelsen, because it was obviously a very wonderful game, an exciting game. Obviously ended in favor of Victor Axelsen, but still really interesting game, and good to see the growth from Sai Pranit to actually challenge Axelsen to this level.
okay, I was adding the fact that Victor Axelsen seemed to be running out of steam, and I do think that having been, I think this was the sixth straight final and the fifth final of 2021 itself. So it's not a joke. It's not an easy job. I think the only match he's dropped was against Anders Antonsen in the World Tour season finale.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's physically tolling as well. I mean, that could have been one of the reasons why this happened. Nothing taking away from either players, but both have been absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, I mean, yes. And Meda, about the Sai Pranith versus Axelsen game, anything that you would like to say about that?
Definitely. I think Sai Praneeth is the top men's singles Olympic prospect for India. And I think this was one of the performances that really proved the fact that why probably he's there in the race to Tokyo. He's been consistent with his performance, despite not winning titles, but his game is pretty much improved now, and he's been playing well against many of the top players. So I think, unfortunately, the telecast, I couldn't really watch the match, but the score speak a lot about taking Victor Axelsen into three sets is definitely not an easy job. So I think Sai Praneeth has done pretty well over there.
And Srihari, just to come to you, Lakshya Sen was the Indian men's single category player who went the farthest, obviously. Lost out in the quarterfinals to Mark Kaljau from Netherlands. What have you made of his performance in the All England this time?
No, actually, Lakshya Sen is like a young prodigy. I know he can go a lot way. So it's like, when he played a three-setter against Mark Aljo, so it was like obviously, they have faced each other in the PBL, they have faced each other in the previous year matches. So it's like, I was thinking that, he really can do it. He really could do it because it's like he has the caliber to beat anyone. Means he is literally a power pack player. So his movement is good. His smashes are great. So it's like, I always I thought of what to say another result. So it's like when he lost against Caljo, it's a bit disappointing for me because I was always rooting for Lakshya. Yeah.
Yes, and obviously we are still very far away from the Olympics. It will be incredibly ungenerous of us to make any predictions. But I will come to the both of you, and I will start with you, Sri Hari. Who looks one of those favorite players right now to make it to the Olympic podium after this All England?
Actually, considering the form, it's like Axelsen is always in the race. Then comes Kenta Momota, obviously. Then there is a lot of players like Ginting. Then there is Jonathan Christie. So it's like the men's single category is going to be like really exciting because all the top players are in great form, and you know you it's going to be a blast actually. Yeah.
It I hope it certainly is because there has been a lot of talk over the years that the men's singles category needed more competition than it had, and I think it's great that we are seeing that it's emerging in a very positive direction. Meda, the Indians in the men's singles category, it's obviously a very curious case. I think Sai Praneeth obviously is the highest among them, but can we expect a medal from Sai Praneeth in the Olympics? You're on mute, Meda.
It's really difficult to say that at this point of time because, unlike most of the players, like Srihari mentioned, they've been winning titles, which is not the case with them. So, if we gotta expect a medal from him, then and there are hardly a few months left for Tokyo Olympics, then he would have to do something really very different and creative to finish with a medal, is what I feel. Otherwise, people like Axelsen, Momota, with so much more experience at the higher level, would definitely have an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, yes, and having said that, I think the category that the Indian fans will be looking towards, I think a lot of hopes will be on the women's singles category, won't it, when it comes to the Olympics? And we will talk
Absolutely.
about the All England performance of the Indian players first, and I think then we'll move on to the eventual winner of the tournament. Coming to you first, Meda. Obviously, Saira Nehwal did retire in the game, in her game rather. against Mia Blichfeld. Mia Blichfeld got through, and I think that there might be a curious case for what happens with Saina Nehwal's fitness now. Obviously, we saw good performance by PV Sindhu. Unfortunately, PV Sindhu couldn't get the medal over the line. She couldn't win the tournament, but still, a lot of interesting things to look forward to if you consider PV Sindhu.
Definitely, she's been extremely good this week. Like, to be fair, she's been good even in Swiss Open. So, uh, I think she's got much more better performances coming up also. Yeah, the Thai player was a tricky one for Sindhu. And of course, even Cho Wang has been playing really well. You can't dismiss her because she even managed to take a set against Marin when Marin was like unbeatable in Thailand. So definitely that was a tough match. Although Sindhu could have done a bit better in terms of making lesser errors and countering the sharp strokes that Chochong was playing against her. Because Sindhu should have attacked a bit more and played better defense, which did not happen then. So yeah, but positives from this tournament, nevertheless, from Sindhu, and of course she's most likely to make the cut for Tokyo again. So we would have certain good performances to look forward to.
Yeah, Shrihari, I just wanted to come to you about PV Sindhu, and I think she couldn't get the victory over the line against Carolina Marin in the previous finals. We saw there was something that was genuinely missing in her game on that day. Obviously, as Meda has rightly said, Cho Wong has been in brilliant form herself, and yet another semi-final stumble for PV Sindhu. If you look at it in that sense, what do you think is the reason why these big games are somehow becoming her nemesis?
And actually, the main thing is, when she faced Marin in the final, it was mostly like because she was lacking confidence, and that led to her bad performance, I would say. But when we come to the All England, she done really good. When it comes to this match against Akane Yamaguchi, and she did fantastic. Seriously, she did really, really good. Because overcoming a player like Yamaguchi, it's not a easy thing. But she just stayed. She survived that, that big wall. And when she came to face Cho Chuang, it's been what to say. It's been unlucky because she could have done better. And to be frank, it's like Sindhu was having a lot of I would say it's been a bad day. And it's a bad day for her. And she wasn't playing at her best. So I think one thing led to another, and obviously that led to her to be knocked out of the tournament. But in the near future, I think Sindhu can really bounce back because she was practicing a lot during the lockdown, and all she went to England and she was practicing for a long time. So I think her hard work will pay off. We will see a much better Sindhu in the future. Yep.
Rightly so. I mean, Shreya, you talked about the Akane Yamaguchi game. She was down by a game in that match, and I think fantastic recovery from PV Sindhu to win the next two games. The final game, in fact, being a really close one, 21-19, and good mettle shown by her. And hopefully, I guess from my personal opinion, she is India's best chance of a medal in the Olympics, and I hope that she continues on this journey, and I think gets that one notch higher and probably gets a gold or a silver in the Tokyo Olympics, obviously. And coming to one of Meda's favorite players, Nozumi Okuhara, who did win the All England Open for the women's single category. Meda, good to see Okuhara back. Obviously, a lot of Japanese contingent dominance in the victors here in the All England. But
Yeah,
Nozumi Okuhara being back, I think we could see on various social media handles as well that people were very excited, and you could see why people were excited because she almost breezed past everyone and won the final against a very informed player in Chocho Wong, and she won it quite comfortably in the end. I must say, 21-12, 21-16. Really dominating performance, I must say, from Nozumi Okuhara in the All England Open this time.
definitely. Nozomi Okura is one of my favorite players. I think the most amazing thing about her is She's barely as tall as the net, 5'1", but the kind of pace with which she plays, the kind of court movement she has, the way she covers the court is extraordinary for her height. And of course, most of the players are much, much taller than her. So, her height also restricts the kind of angles she can create from the rear court. So that is a disadvantage owing to her physique. But the way she plays, the way she makes her court movement cover up for the other drawbacks that she has, it's just quite phenomenal. Her retrieving abilities are very, very good, and I think we saw that in All England this year. An interesting thing I noticed was her final was against Pontpavi Chochuang of Thailand, whom she beat quite comfortably. I mean, she was really good with her retrieving abilities. I mean, she completely forced Chochuang to make errors, and she was playing some really good net play, some really sharp strokes, especially with her punch clears and cross-court smashes. So that was pretty good from Okuhara in the finals, which led her to the victory. But in the initial round, she played Ratchanok, she played Busanan, both Thai players, and I do feel these Thai players are kind of tricky. And she went into three sets with both of them, but I think she learned quite a lot about the Thai style of play, which she modified and played better in the final. So that is one observation I had about it. So yeah, I mean, I think those are the only two matches that she went into three sets in the All England Open. And mind you, this was her first tournament after the pandemic broke out. The last tournament she played internationally was the All England last year. So this is
Yeah.
truly amazing what she has done.
Yeah, in fact, I mean that's magnificent from what Okuhara has done. Srihari, I would leave it to you all as well, to add something about how Okuhara has played. But also a question to you with Indanon and Chochuang playing really well, I think in the recent tournaments. I think with the Thailand players, what do you look at them and how are their prospects for the Olympics? Is what do you think about it?
Okay, when it comes to Okuhara, she's always been such a, you know, difficult player to get past through. So it's like she's always kind of a nightmare for every other players. Uh, you know, she wasn't playing for a year and she finally came back and she just won All England just like that, and she done it with ease. So I think she is a very what to say, she is a very good player to look out for. I think her opponent should be like should really study her game before facing her. And when it comes to the Thai players, Intanon and Cho Chuang, Intanon is like kind of known as the queen of comeback, and I think that really suits her well. She has a great experience and she always capitalizes on that, and her game is like extremely good. And when it comes to Cho Chuang, she's what to say, she is an upcoming legend, and we can expect a lot from her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Srihari, you were just spot on there. And I will just ask the same question as I asked in the men's category as well. Which players would you feel are favorites for the Olympics going into it? Obviously, people will mention Tai Zuing and Carolina Marin, and we're looking for a third option here. I mean, which are the other couple of players that you are actually looking forward to, Srihari?
No, actually, I think there will be obviously PV Sindhu because she is a silver medal winner. And then there is obviously Intanon. Then Yamaguchi will be there. Then if Chinese players are allowed, means obviously if Chinese players are there, then Chen Yufei is going to be my pick. She's a great player. I think she has played some really good matches against Tai Suing, PV Sindhu, and also she's obviously a much difficult player. So I think it's going to be very difficult to defeat her in any matches.
Yeah, and I think as soon as you said Chen Yufei, I could absolutely see Meda's sarcastic smile in a way. But yes, Meda, the dream for Carolina Marin is obviously second consecutive Olympic gold medal, talking about Tai Zuing, that unfortunate news that we have been hearing that she might consider retirement after the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah.
So it would be brilliant if she does head out with a gold medal herself. Apart from that, Nozomi Okuhara showed in the All England that she's very much in the race herself, and PV Sindhu we all know, and we are all genuinely rooting for that she does really well in the Olympics. Anyone apart from these four players that you're actually looking at for the Olympic gold or silver?
I think the list is very long for women's singles because all these players are so fabulous. And at some point of time, all of them have been dominating the circuit, be having unbeatable runs. So this includes Tai Zuing, Carolina Marin, PV Sindhu, Nozomi Okuhara, Akane Yamaguchi, and of course Chen Yufei as well. So, and from Thailand, Ratchanok has been a bit off color in terms of winning titles, but she is a fabulous player to watch out for. And the other two emerging players from Thailand are Ponpavi Chochuang and Busana Nongbom. But I think given the Olympic qualification criteria, only two from a country in top 16 can qualify. So I think it will be more so Cho Chu Wong with the kind of form she is in. So it would be really interesting to see if Cho Chu Wong actually, breaks all barriers and surpasses these players. So I think it'll be very interesting to watch that.
Surely, I mean, definitely the most competitive category in badminton as it
Definitely.
stands, and everybody will definitely look forward to what happens in Tokyo 2020, which is going to happen in 2021. It will be exciting to see what happens in the Olympics, and we will start with the doubles now, and start with the men's doubles. Only one Indian pair in the men's doubles category, MR Arjun and Dhruv Kapila, who got beaten in the first round itself, and a really exciting category this against the men's doubles category. But it was, if I'm not wrong, Hiroyuki Endo and Yuta Watanabe who ended up winning again, the Japanese pair playing another Japanese pair in Kamura and Kigo Sonoda in the finals. And exciting game there, Shri Hari. What do you make of the men's doubles category?
Actually, when Indonesian players were out, I think obviously my second pick would be Yuta Watanabe and Hiroki Endo, because they are the All England champions last year, and they just defended their title. So I really believe, like, when I saw their game, even after playing after almost a year, they only got upgraded. The game just got upgraded. So it's like, what to say, their defense has been extremely good. Both of them were like, you know, it was like they were like a big wall, and it was very difficult to break that. And the attack from Hiroki Endo was extremely good, and Utah really finished off things well. So I think they really deserved it. When we consider the game they played, I think they really deserved it, this title. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Sri Hari. I think they played really, really well, and it was fantastic for in the men's doubles category from the Japanese who ended up being the finalists, and one of them did win. So congratulations to them. We will come to the women's doubles category with Medha. Medha, a really interesting women's doubles category to look at rather. We did see a lot of good Indian players, including Ashwini Bhatt, who has been a part of the Sports Doyen interview cast before. Just a cheap plug to all of the people who will be watching this video. Do tune into her interview, which was taken in the Unsung Sporting Tale series of the Sports Doyen. It is there available on our YouTube channel. And we want to take this opportunity to massively congratulate Ashwini Bhatt for actually qualifying for the All England Championships, and we hope that this is a beginning of a very, very long journey for her in the badminton circuit for a very long time. Meda, coming back to the women's doubles, it was again Japanese domination, and I think it was very much expected, like, very much expected from, I think, the both of you when you were talking while the tournament was happening. It was Mayu Matsumoto who, along with Wakana Nakahara, won the finals, and it was Yuki Fukushima with who were the first seeds with Sayaka Hirota. I think they
Yes, again now.
Yeah, I will take this one again. I mean, after
Yeah,
the Ashwini Bhatt thing, yeah,
yeah, repeat it.
yeah, yeah. Let's really become ready. Shriyari,
Okay.
all good.
Yeah, yeah, all
Yeah,
good, all good.
So yes,
chalo.
coming back to the women's doubles category. Coming back to the women's doubles category, it was again Japanese domination, as many of you might have expected after after the draws were released and the final draws were rather released for the All England Championships. It was Mayu Matsumoto and Wakana Nagahara who were the second seeds who beat the first seeds, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota, in the finals. Another Japanese final that was really interesting, and something to look forward to. But ended up being a two-setter final. But I think still a very good tournament for the women's doubles, Meda. And obviously, we'd like you to comment on Ashwini's performance as well.
Ashwini Bhatt and Shikha Gautam were up against, I think the seventh seeds, Lauren Smith and Chloe Birch of England. So it was a difficult match for them, but I think they must have had a brilliant experience playing at the All England in the first place and a lot of positives to take away from a match against such a highly ranked player. So of course, this is beginning of a wonderful career for them. So this is something we from the sports store do congratulate her and wish her all the best for all the coming matches. And coming towards the final, I think it was a great tournament for Mayu and Nagahara because they beat their teammates who had beaten them in the Denmark Open, and they were the Mayu and Wakana were the they're the two times world champions. So I think they had the revenge against Sayaka Hirota and Yuka Fukushima with this straight set game victory. So I think they were quite dominant. Their attack was quite on point. Um, the placements were too good, finding the lines or the middle, finding the right gaps. So that's how they really played, and they rotated well, they shifted well. So yes, they've had a brilliant tournament this season at the All England, and it was a truly deserved victory for them.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to the winning Japanese pair again. I mean, it was complete domination by Japanese in the women's doubles categories. A fantastic performance by the Japanese contingent in the categories here.
Also,
Welcome to the
Ashwini
next.
and Siki
Yeah,
had a great tournament this season. Luckily for Ashwini, they had a
yeah,
great season this time in women's double instead of mixed doubles. They made it to the
yeah.
quarterfinals. I think it was a winnable match against Selena and Cheryl, but unfortunately they lost the match. Otherwise, they had a really good chance to make it to the semi-final in the least. So a big shout out to them for a great performance here at the All England.
Indeed, I mean a massive shout out, and we will be keeping our keen eye on them when it comes to the Olympics later this year. Shrihari, coming to you with the mixed doubles first, and then we'll go to Meda as well. A lot was expected of Satvik Sairaj and Ashwini Ponnappa, obviously, who did lose to the eventual finals in the tournament. Yuki Kaneko and Misaki Matsumo. Really, in a way, a disappointing end for them, in the All England, because they've been doing really, really well over the last. I think, especially after the post pandemic or the post lockdown tournaments, they've been doing really well. How do you look at this pair, and how do they look as it stands in the Olympic frame? Shreya, you're on mute.
Like you said, they've been playing really good, and actually, under the new coach, I think they are doing pretty well, and they will continue to do so. And when it comes to their chances at Olympics, so I think, yeah, I believe they can make it to at least the quarterfinals because they have the caliber, they have the skills, and plus when it comes to Ashwini's experience, so that can be a plus point too. And I really hope that they make it to the Olympics with a great style, and they play the best game out there.
Yes, and I think a lot will be expected of the both of them. I think they're still pretty young if you look at as a pair in badminton, Indian badminton. And I think a lot will be expected out of them regardless, because we as Indians are always hopeful that our players bring us the medals that
Yeah.
the nation is absolutely looking for, and we wish them all the best. Coming to the eventual winners, obviously it was Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashino, another Japanese contingent victory for them, and they played another Japanese pair in the final, Yuki Kaneko and Misaki Matsumo, in the mixed doubles final. So I think you could just clearly see how dominant the Japanese were in the doubles
Yeah.
category, Mega. Uh, what do you make of that performance by the Japanese in the mixed doubles?
Hmm. It was fabulous. I've always enjoyed watching Yuta Watanabe and Narisa Higashino ever since they started playing the World Tour. I mean, Yuta Watanabe, of course, is he's just so lean and he's literally flying in the air in the rear court. Even if you watch him in men's doubles, you can see how agile he is. And he has an equally agile partner, that is Arisa Higuchi. She's so quick at the net. She intercepts everything that comes here in this front court. I think that makes them a very strong combination in mixed doubles, and that was what worked in their favor against Misaki Matsutomo and Yuki Kaneko as well. Um, I think Misaki Matsutomo was a very great front court player even when she partnered Ayaka Takahashi in women's doubles, and she's on and off played mixed doubles as well. Now that Ayaka is retired, she's paired up in mixed doubles. But Arisa and Yuta were fabulous in the final. This I was just in complete adoration of their game. Watching them attack both from the front court and rear court, putting so much pressure on their opponents. I think Ashwini Satwik did have a tough time because they lost to Misaki and her partner in the very first round. So, but nevertheless, the scoreline wasn't very bad. So I think they would have a lot of positives to take from that match.
Indeed, indeed, and a lot of positives, I guess, as badminton fans to take from the All England Open. Obviously, there was a lot of COVID scare because of which the Indonesian players had to pull out of the tournament, with whatever the medical necessities being there at that point of time. A few star players did not play the tournament, which disappointed a lot of fans. But I think overall, if you look at the All England Championships, it was again a very brilliant affair, something that I think in the badminton world is regarded as prestigious as it can get, and a magnificent tournament to take us through in this month of March, and I think a fantastic, a fantastic spectacle that the guys put out there. Once again, thank you to Meda and Srihari for joining us and giving us your reviews and your predictions as well. We will take the doubles predictions in the next video, obviously, and I think as we build up to the Olympics, it will be even more interesting to see, how these players actually fare, and where we get to go in terms of the Olympic medals, the potential Olympic medals, I would rather say. Thank you to the both of you, Shri Hari. I know you have been very consistent in spite of the timing difference, and I think that's really creditable to you. Meda, as always, has been a part of the sports tour for a long time since our inception, and thank you to her once again. To all our viewers, a massive thank you. I think you have been really influential to us in the last few months, and I think I would like to take this opportunity to thank you from the entire Sports Toying team. We will be covering the future badminton content that will be happening. Obviously, we have big plans for the Indian Premier League, the IPL, the India's festival. ये है India का त्योहार, and I think we are definitely looking forward to that. Also looking forward for the India versus England ODI series as well. The Premier League podcast will keep coming, and I think we're looking forward to cover a lot more sports. There are a lot of articles on our website if you just visit www.thesportstoyn.com. Thank you once again to all the panelists and all the viewers who joined us today, and we will see you soon.